You're listening to Jeremy Vaeni's Paratopia vlog, right here on YouTube. Paratopia, I've been really lax in my vlog, but I'll try to be a little bit better now that I have questions from listeners. Let me see if I can trudge through these. Happy holidays, by the way, and almost Happy New Year. Probably it will be New Year by the time this goes up, but who knows. Mudhog92 writes, I heard both of you say this is a reflection of yourself, and what you put out there is what you get back. And what he's talking about is this alien abduction, in quotes, experience. But also, if you try to get out, it won't let you. Actually, that's more Jeff says something like that. I don't really say that. Almost like you're its investment and you're not going to waste. See, again, I don't buy that. I don't even think Jeff buys that. So Mudhog, as much as I love you, I don't think either of us are saying that. Do you or Jeff have any noted difference or evolution in personal experiences that has matured or changed as you have individually? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, certainly things have changed over the years. I don't know if that's a direct one-on-one correlation with how we've matured. So the answer to that is I don't know. For Jeff, of course, the experience has changed to human-ish people in dark cloaks, you know, talking to him in sort of conversational tone. And for me, it's changed. Well, I don't even know if it's changed. I just know that there's an add-on of my spirituality shenanigans, but I don't see that as a change from something into something. I see it as a parallel something. Just for poops and giggles, have you ever tried to find out anything about your Chinaman moves / meditation flowing stuff? Went to a psychic, Taoist, Qigong master. I know you've done the brain studies to show it. Do you know what it is, means, or where it's from, besides your cranium? In here, I believe he is referring to the Kundalini spontaneous movements that are observed in me. And I should add here that I have not done a brain study. I hooked up to an EEG informally with Masahiro Kahata a number of times. That doesn't really constitute a study. Have I asked anyone about it? No. I read a book on Kundalini written by, it's essays and articles by myriad authors on the subject. So I think it's safe to say that the movements and all of that stuff, there is no possession going on. There's this thing called Kundalini energy, and that basically, you want my honest assessment of what this is? It's let's say it's universal instruction. I don't know if it's located in the body or not, but it's instruction that creates the healthiest body, mind, and, if such a thing exists, soul possible, based on how much you've fucked yourself up. So the amount of, for instance, Tai Chi I might do, or yoga, is based on how much I haven't done already, which is all of it. But somebody who's a Tai Chi master or yoga master probably wouldn't need that as much, and so the Kundalini awakening in them would trigger whatever stunted growth items there are in that person. And all of this is to create a pure vessel for the next thing, which is God, self-awareness, if you want to call it that, or universal consciousness. I don't know what the correct word is. I don't want to say God to imply a God, because it's not that at all. But it's basically, it's a prep work to undo the damage that you've done to make way for, living a state of enlightenment, or living on the stage of enlightenment. Let's put it that way. It's setting you up to live on the stage of enlightenment so that you no longer just visit it as a state. You can visit it as a state, as I've done, and other people have done various ways, but I defy anyone to actually live on that stage. Mudhog also wants to know where Roscoe is, because he misses him. I don't know the answer to that, but I suspect it's something along the lines of Roscoe is too broke to even pay for our show, because I know he'd mentioned that publicly. So I think he probably just bailed on the community aspect of it, which is unfortunate, because I dug Roscoe. Piglet, I said in here that I would answer her question, but then I read it and I didn't see a question. So if there is a question in what you've written, get away from me, fly. There's a fly flying around me. Then let me know, and I'll answer it. And if not, then I don't feel bad. Colin Reed says, okay, Jeremy, I have a question which, with all your sage wisdom and laugh-tracked monkey business, you might be able to help with. He goes on to describe going to a haunted lighthouse. Repeat, a haunted lighthouse. And he asks, Jeremy, can partaking in an investigation such as this be auspicious to the field of paranormal research as a whole, or am I fated to have my actual soul stolen by a salty dead sea dog and have my body cast asunder onto the rocks below? Advice, please. Nothing in the paranormal field is auspicious, so go for it. Yeah, you probably will. Well, let's say this: you'll either have your soul eaten and your body plundered, or you'll have your wallet plundered. And either way, haunted lighthouse. Tim asks, Jer, would it be fair to say that you've had direct visceral experience of the Earth as a living, breathing, self-aware entity? If so, would you be able to talk a bit about the quality of that awareness? No, it wouldn't be fair to say that. Not in terms of any of my experiences that are abnormal. Let's put it that way. I have nothing to report there. I mean, it's interesting, you know, the female voice that I hear in abduction experience, don't mind the plows outside. We had a bit of a storm. In the big I am God experience, and as well in teaching dreams, if you want to call them that, you know, this is a woman's voice that I've always associated with abductions. But reading Peter Kingsley's book Reality, I mean, it's similar, if not the same thing as Sophia, right? The goddess, which is the same thing or similar to what Tiokasin Ghost Horse talks about in terms of the goddess, Earth. So are these all the same thing? I mean, would that be a direct experience of that? I mean, I don't know. I can say that when I had the big God I am experience, if I had to describe that in brief sentences, it would be that there is a way to adopt the God persona or spirit persona, right? Which is, I mean, essentially in that experience, it is experiencing oneself as one, as all things, as spirit playing within itself, so, you know, you're having a visual of trees, and I am the trees, and I am the wind, and I am the ocean, and I am, you know, the universe exploding, and I am the hot rocks, and so on and so forth. I mean, the macro to the micro, all of this stuff is this experience, and it is the experience of, again, it's almost like spirit playing within its forms. So formless awareness playing within forms is the big I am experience. But part of that was the I amness of being stars. So I am the sun giving, you know, life to the nearest rock that can take it. And that had a completely different, as I'd said on the show, a completely different feeling of consciousness than spirit playing within itself, or formless consciousness playing within forms. However, I didn't get that feeling with planets. So this is not to say that they are not self-aware entities, but I haven't experienced it, or I didn't experience it directly in that. Does your life involve an ongoing active conversation with nature? Asks Tim. No. What have you come to understand about the relationship between us and the Earth? Well, what have you come to understand? I mean, I think whether Earth is self-aware or not, everything is a web of life, right? Everything is an interrelated, weaving ecosystem from the subatomic level on up to, the way life interacts, the way organisms interact with each other. It's system within system within system, and it's all intricately connected. And we see this, I mean, when you see this on all these different levels, right? Not just, systems, right? Which are, like, again, subatomic to cellular, the way your body works within itself, to the way life works. We call this a body of, all of that. Is it fair to say that if there are other dimensions with other inhabitants, that we are also intricately connected in the same way, because we don't see an end to the levels of ecosystem, put it that way? So I guess I'm thinking beyond our relationship between us and the Earth. I'm thinking about our relationship between everything, between all things. And at the end of the day, the relationship is that all things are one thing. All things are formless awareness expressing itself as all things. And so this is how that occurs. Look around you, life. That's how that occurs. I will say that, conversations with, for instance, Teokas and Ghost Horse, or Barbara Three Crow about the Kogi, or even now I'm reading The Bushman's Way, if you can read that. I don't know that you can. Bradford Keeney is the author. It's called The Bushman's Way of Tracking God. The First People Reveal the Original Ways of Healing, Transformation, and Finding the Meaning of Life. And I'm only in the introduction of this book, and it's already fantastic. So I hope to have him on the show. Bradford Keeney. So, looking at these indigenous ways and reevaluating them without my Western prejudice is something new to me, I'll say. And unfortunate. I mean, it's unfortunate that that's the case, but, we weren't raised to think about these things. And so when someone, the likes of Teokas and Ghost Horse comes along and makes complete sense, I don't know that he could make complete sense to me unless I had had the big I am experience, because that involved the letting go of the self, right? The shattering of the self, and then the Kundalini awakening and whatever. I mean, all this stuff that illustrates that life isn't as...
Get the phone.
Fuck.
Get the phone.
Was it Tolstoy or Jeremy Vaeni who said, life isn't as fuck? Did I answer everything? I don't remember. I just got off the phone with, that's right, Jeff Ritzman. Does your life involve an ongoing active conversation with nature? No. What have you come to understand about the relationship between us and the Earth? Nothing. Well, I don't remember where I was, so I'll just move on. Paul says, Jeremy, I would like to hear your thoughts on the Thought Screen helmet designed by Mr. Mike Menken. Happy holidays to all at Paratopia. Paul, my thoughts on the Thought Screen helmet, which is something that Mr. Menken invented that is to ward away evil telepathic aliens controlling your thoughts and your body. And he teaches you how to make one for yourself. Does it work? Is one question. And to that I say, If you've never had abduction by evil aliens controlling your thoughts, body, and perhaps soul, then if you make yourself a thought screen helmet, and you continue to not be abducted by those aliens, then you should probably thank the thought screen helmet and Mr. Mike Menken. All right. Happy holidays to you as well, Paul. Thank you, everyone, for writing in and for listening. And I will see you, or you'll see me, in the next vlog. Paratopia. This concludes Jeremy Vaeni's Paratopia vlog right here on YouTube.